Hello everyone, welcome to the Cricketing Hour, and today we're here to talk about perhaps the single most controversial rule of modern cricket, the umpire's call. Now, before we get into the debate whether it's a good rule, a bad rule, should it be scrapped, what should it be changed, whatever, before that, let's first define the problem. The umpire's call is a rule in the decision review system whereby if an LBW call is reviewed, there are three possible outcomes. One, the ball is out and the batsman has to go back. The ball is not out and the batsman should continue batting. Or umpire's call, in which the DRS technology says, look, I'm not sure if it's out or not out. Whatever the umpire said, just go with that. So there's obviously two camps since DRS was first introduced in 2008 up till today in 2024. The concept of the umpire's call has been subject to debate, and I don't think that's likely to change regardless of whatever we do with the rule. So, what are the two sides of the debate? One side of the debate says that the umpire's call is a problematic rule and it should be scrapped. Why do they say this? Number of reasons. Number one, they say that with the umpire's call, it is possible that two different bowlers bowl the exact same ball to two different batsmen. It's the exact same ball, it hits the batsman in the exact same way, pitching, impact, everything exactly the same, and yet one time the same ball can be not out, and for another time the same ball can be out because of the umpire's call. And they say this is problematic and the DRS technology should be clear cut on whether it's out or not out. The second thing the people of this point of view say is that, look, either just say, actually, let's look at it from the point of view of a bowled wicket. In a bowled wicket, when any part of the ball hits any part of the wicket, the bails come flying off and the batsman is gone. These people argue that it should be the same with LBW. If the DRS technology says that any part of the ball is going to touch the wicket and that's the projection that's shown on the TV, it should be out. Or they say, if you want to go the other way, you can say that if it's a doubtful decision, then the doubt should go in the favor of the batsman. But they say that the concept of the umpire's call is confusing for the viewers. It creates a dilemma that the same ball can be out and not out at the same time. And they give the example of tennis, where whenever a player in tennis, they also use the same Hawkeye technology. And in tennis, a ball is always either out or not out. In football, they use VAR technology, and every ball is either an offside or it's not. It's in the goal or it's not. You look at basketball, you look at hockey, you look at squash, other games who use any kind of player review system, it's always binary. Out or not out, in or not in, goal or not a goal. In cricket, it's not binary. There's a third rule we've come up with. So these people, the gist of their argument, and right now I'm not saying whether I support them, whether I'm against them, but the gist of their argument is that the umpire's call makes things confusing for the viewers. And if the same ball can be out or not out, then what's the point? If you're leaving it up to the umpire anyway, who has a chance of human error, then what was the entire purpose of bringing in DRS, whose goal is to eliminate as much human error as possible? Now, what does the opposing point of view say? The opposing point of view says, look, guys, what you're saying is fine, but the umpire's call is only brought into play when the DRS technology is inconclusive. So there's a certain percentage of error. And whenever Hawkeye, whichever firm is operating the technology they're using for that particular DRS game in that particular match, they say that there's a certain percentage of error because the concept of an LBW is a predictive affair. See, this is a bit complex to understand. Take the example of tennis. In tennis, when they're seeing if a ball is out or not out, the thing has already happened. The thing they are analyzing, the position of the ball, has already occurred, and the ball either fell in the line or it fell out of the line. In football, the ball either crossed the goal line or it did not hit the net of the goal. In cricket, however, the matter is predictive because the ball did not hit the wicket. The ball only hit the leg of the batsman, and it is a predictive job that the software or the umpire or whoever is watching the game has to predict whether the ball would have gone on to hit the wicket. The fact that the software needed is predictive means that the software can never be certain. And the fact that the software can never be certain means that the software will always have a certain margin of error, a margin of uncertainty. And the umpire's call, they say, is used when the ball tracking shows the ball to be within that small margin of uncertainty. So if a ball is very close to the edge of the stumps and the technology says, look, maybe it would have gone on to hit the wicket or maybe it would just have missed it. In that case, the technology says, rather than taking a decision with DRS, just go with whatever the umpire felt, because the umpire may have been able to make a better decision seeing the real time movement and spin and swing and angle and trajectory of the ball. So this is again a valid argument. Now, what is my opinion? My opinion is that firstly, both the camps, they obviously have very valid argumentation, and the fact of the matter is LBWs have always been confusing. One of the famous cricket historians remarked that LBW since its very earliest days has been subject to change, and even in the 1930s, in the 1970s, the LBW law, out of all the wickets of cricket, bowled is simple, catching out is simple, but the LBW law has undergone a lot of changes from the point of pitching to the point of impact and so on. And it's a very unique thing to cricket. But what is my opinion and what is my take on the umpire's call? And it's up to you whether you agree or disagree. You can leave your thoughts in the comments below. I believe that the main problem with umpire's call is not in the rule. It's in the way we show it to the viewer. When a casual watcher is watching a match and the broadcaster shows an umpire's call DRS decision as the ball was hitting the wicket, you look at the animation of the umpire's call, look, the ball is shown to be hitting the wicket and it's written on the side umpire's call. I think rather than umpire's call, the text should be saying inconclusive or indecisive, or you can have a small bar that says technology unable to decide, something like that, so that the viewer is given a clear impression that the technology was not able to decide. The fact when it says umpire's call, I think it plants a false image in the viewer that, oh, the technology is not trustworthy, or we are not using the technology, we are just going with whatever the old-fashioned umpire says, and that's completely wrong. And I also think that the animation should not be shown. You can see that the animation shows the ball to be going on to hit the stumps. Obviously, that's going to plant an image in the viewer's head that, hey, if any part of the ball is hitting the wicket, shouldn't it be out? Isn't that what we do when it's a bowled wicket? If even the ball slightly hits the wicket, the bails come off and it's bowled out. So I think the animation should not show that. Rather, in animation, you can either show the ball diverging and show this is the maximum range of uncertainty that technology was able to predict, or you can just do something which doesn't plant such a clear image in the viewer's mind that the ball was going to hit the wicket, because you don't know if it was going to hit the wicket. If you knew it was going to hit the wicket, it wouldn't have been umpire's call in the first place, because umpire's call is only used when the technology is uncertain. And I think the broadcasters need to show this to the viewer either by saying inconclusive text on the side, or by using the animation to show that maybe the ball would have gone on to hit the wicket, or maybe the ball would not have gone on to hit the wicket. In any case, I would like to conclude by saying that the fact of the matter is, whichever way you look at it, you cannot deny that DRS has improved the concept of LBWs. Without DRS, there's so many LBW calls that would have been going amiss every day. And you know, one of the very lesser known things about cricket is that ever since DRS was introduced, spinners have started taking a lot more LBWs, because previously umpires, looking at it by the human eye, they saw that whenever a batsman plays the ball on the front foot, their minds, because the human brain's depth perception is very weak relative to our perception of height and width. This is just a natural phenomenon, a natural fact, a biological fact of the human condition. Our perception of depth is not that strong. And whenever a batsman would step out, or whenever a batsman would pad away a ball, that's why batsmen no longer do that because of DRS. Whenever a batsman would pad away a ball, the umpires would feel, oh, it's not going to be LBW, it probably would have bounced over the wicket. Then DRS came and showed us that umpires were wrong. And in fact, spinners tend to get a lot more LBWs than even fast bowlers, and that's completely been flipped on its head. So whichever way you look at it, the fact of the matter is DRS is a good thing. It's a positive thing. However, the question is just about how it can be made more positive. And some people, I think it's also a valid argument to say that, you know, if any part, already batsmen have so many advantages in cricket, flatter pitches, more fielding restrictions, 2 new white balls in ODI cricket. So I think the bowlers should be given this little bit of a benefit in that if it's an umpire's call, you can give it an out. That's a valid position to hold. But my personal opinion is still that umpire's call, the rule is fine as it is, but the way it is being communicated to the viewer should be made more clear that an umpire's call is only saying that the technology was uncertain, and due to that, we're going to go with whatever the umpire says. So what are your thoughts? I know it's a very hot topic. It's a very difficult debate. There's many different opinions going around. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'm looking forward to see you soon. Bye.